Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today we're in a bit of a different environment because it turns out I am sick again. This time with the dreaded COVID. But not to worry, I'm still dedicated to getting you guys your content. And today we're going to continue on with the series we started last week about Humblewood. Humblewood being a classic third-party pick for people who want to run adventures in an animal-themed world. Today we're talking about a race that exists in Humblewood, the Gallus. Galluses are effectively rooster people. They look like chickens, and they certainly are a very homely pick, but their specific abilities can still work in the regular D&D. We'll get into the details in just a moment, but before we do, I'd like to let you know, Relax Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know that you're a supporter. But also, you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, even when I'm sick. And I upload them a day early for members only. So, if you are interested in that, you can click the join button just below the video down there. I'd love to see you in the comments. And if you aren't interested in that, just liking and subscribing is a great way to support me. Thank you very much. So Galluses, remember that this is an old module, so they do have standardized ability score improvements. Galluses start with a +2 to their Wisdom as their ASI. Wisdom's one of the most widespread useful skills in the game. I give a +2 to Wisdom an 8 out of 10. They are medium-sized creatures. These are not chicken size. They're not like a foot tall. No, these are full-size, medium humanoids that simply look like roosters. And medium size is, in my opinion, the better of the two player character sizes, so I give that 10 out of 10. Their speed is 30 feet, which is a standard movement speed, so 9 out of 10 there. And like the other bird folks of Humblewood, they do have the glide feature. This means that they can use their reaction to minimize their fall speed and neutralize their fall damage. And if they drop at least 10 feet, they can move their movement speed horizontally. This gives them a lot of airborne maneuverability and a great, basically unlimited ability to fall, and this is a 10 out of 10 power to get from your race. But these guys actually take it a step further with their wing flap ability. As a bonus action, they can go up by flapping their wings, equal to half their movement speed. This is pretty decent. So 15 feet you can go up in the air if you get another movement speed boost. This gets buffed. This can be combined with a normal jump, a normal vertical jump. So that's cool. The only thing it can't be combined with is a glide. So you can't jump, fall, and then bonus action wing flap to double jump. That's not how this works. It can only be done in conjunction with a jump from the ground. So it would be, personally, I think it'd be awesome if it was a double jump. You don't see that in D&D. That's a very video gamey thing. But still, being able to boost your jump by a pretty significant margin. 15 feet is not a small jump to add on to everything else. Yeah, I say this is 7 out of 10. Not a bad feature, not going to come up all the time, but cool when it does. Then there is the communal feature. This is similar to the dwarven feature Stone Cunning. This one has to do with history checks that are related to the Gallus culture. So Galluses have a very specific culture. They're very communal-based creatures. And if they need to make a history check that is based on that, they get expertise in it specifically. Not expertise in all history checks, but still, it's a thing. It's a very, very niche thing. I would say that unless you are very specifically needing Humblewood lore, this is 5 out of 10. It's not something that I would consider a big boost. It's very, very ribbon. Another ribbon feature they get, militia training. That doesn't sound ribbony. They have proficiency in simple weapons. Why is that a ribbon feature? because most people have proficiency in simple weapons already. There are a couple spellcasters that have a very specific list of weapons that they're proficient in that doesn't just encompass all simple. But does adding simple weapons add much? I would say no. And if you aren't a spellcaster, if you're any sort of martial character, then you get this already. So I would say that this is a 6 out of 10 ability. Not useless, but definitely not going to be coming up much. I would say that unless you are a wizard that really wants to use like a great club or something, then this isn't really a thing. And then there's a tool proficiency they get. The power is called Of the People, and they can choose between brewers, carpenters, or smiths' tools, making them great village tradesmen. And yeah, those are decent tool sets. I say 7 out of 10 for that. They do speak a single language, the bird folk language, which in the world of Humblewood is effectively their common. Everyone speaks bird folk because bird folk are the most common and most dominant race, and therefore it's the common language. So a single language, most races in the game are bilingual or more, so I say 7 out of 10 for this. And then the Gallus has two sub-races, two specific kinds of chicken people. The first one is the Bright Gallus. They get a +1 to their charisma, makes sense. That is a very good ability scored above most of the time, and I say that's an 8 out of 10. And they also get a power called Inspiring. This allows them to grant a D4 to an ally. By granting this D4 to the ally, you allow them to spend it on their next ability check, or attack or saving throw. So this is kind of a combination of guidance, bless, resistance. It's interesting. It takes an action, and it has to be spent on the next one. It's not something that they can save, like an inspiration point. But still, the fact that they just get this automatically without the need to take a level in a class that gets guidance or take the bless spell or something like that, and it doesn't take concentration, I'd say this is a worthwhile little power to use some of the time. I wouldn't say it's always useful. It's great out of combat, though. Like, if you get the opportunity to use it on someone. So I'm giving the power 9 out of 10. They also get the Understanding trait, which simply gives them proficiency in Insight, which is one of the better skills in the game, which is a 9 out of 10. Overall, the Bright Gallus, I give an 8 out of 10 as the charismatic, insightful, and inspiring chicken person. The other type of Gallus is the Huden Gallus, Huden. They are a little different. They are a little more nature-y in the sense that they get a +1 to their dexterity, not their charisma, which honestly is as good as charisma, if not better. I give that an 8 out of 10 for that +1. They also have 1 with the wind. This gives them proficiency in the nature skill as opposed to insight. Not a bad skill. I wouldn't say it's as good as insight. I give it 7 out of 10. And then they get seed speech. This allows them to communicate back and forth with plants. It only allows them to communicate simple ideas, but Speak with Plants is a 3rd level spell. And these people can just do it naturally as a racial ability, and there is no limit to how much they can do it. So that's good, especially if you're playing anywhere in the wild. This would go amazing on a ranger or a druid because they wouldn't have to use their spell slots, or honestly, it could be used on anyone who doesn't have nature magic. It's really good. I give it 9 out of 10. The Huden Gallus also gets an 8 out of 10, a little lower than the Bright Gallus, but still a very worthwhile way of playing your Humblewood race. Overall, the Gallus are a fun little race. I think that their special wing powers, their militia, personal thing, they very much feel like village people, the kind of race that you would sit around the campfire with, the Bright Gallus doing an inspiring speech while the Huden Gallus is tending to the gardens. Almost hobbity, little halfling combo here. I like them. I think they're a really fun race, and I think they could add a lot to any D&D game. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, as well as a link that I will put down in the comments or in the description to the Humblewood campaign setting book. It was written by the Deck of Many, and yeah, I think it's a great book, and if you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest you do. Have a good one, my friends.